techniques for enhancing professional and personal development. That's what the topic says. Because what you need is knowledge, a depth of knowledge. The distance between where you are now and the life of your dreams is knowledge, is information, is a learning gap. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is not a miracle happening, it's not luck, it's actually information. Okay? Information. That's it. Knowledge. Knowledge in itself is just information. Knowledge is data. Knowledge is just information. They say any fool can know anything. Anyone can know anything. If I ask you what the cause of flooding in Lagos is, or the cause of flooding in the world, I'm sure that most of you raise your hands and you can give me information about it. You tell me that if you throw trash into the drain, it will cause flooding. Not so. Do you know that? How many of us agree? Right? That our drainages are blocked. I hear yes with so much passion. Do you throw dirt on the floor? Do you throw dirt on the road? Aha, there the smiles are coming in. Exactly. Of what use is that information to you? That knowledge. What use? So knowledge in itself is weak. So I call it a depth of knowledge. It means that you know something that is enough to convert. That you metabolize that information that you have to produce results. So that's it, that your knowledge transcends just beyond knowing into wisdom, right? And into understanding. Understanding is the how. When your knowledge about any subject, any aspect of your life is complete, then you become free in that aspect of your life. If your knowledge about money, finances is complete, then you become financially free. If your knowledge about marriage, you have a depth of knowledge and wisdom and understanding about marriage and parenting is complete, you will have a good marriage and you will raise amazing children. It's not an amen thing. Don't say amen. It's that you need to get the depth of knowledge. So today we're talking about professional development and personal development. What is professional development? It's simply the activities, it just refers to the activities that you do in order to enhance or to build your skills, your set of skills, your competence, and your capacity in the line of your career, your chosen field of profession, right? But personal development, on the other hand, refers to the activities that you undertake, in order to, number one, build your human capital, which includes your, profession, your competence, your skill. So you build your human capital. On the other hand, you enhance the quality of your life. And thirdly, you advance, you facilitate the realization of your dreams and your aspiration and your goals. So you see, personal development is all encompassing. So it's possible theoretically for us to know that personal development is great, and without personal development, professional development can suffer theoretically. But in practice, what we do is chase after our professional development. What we want to do is climb the pinnacle of us, go after gold, basically. Take all the courses and take all the trainings and, be best at the things that we do, which is not bad. But there is such a thing as climbing to the pinnacle of your career, and then what? And then what? Even the people with the best paying jobs, it gets to the top of their careers and they are retrenched, they are retired. And there's a staggering statistics right now that at about 40% of retirees enter depression. They get depressed. And this is because the human life, that's how humans are designed. We are designed to experience life in a very full and robust way, where we are made up of spirit, soul, and body. And if you are advancing just one part of your life, then you will be robbed of the human experience sooner or later. You'll be robbed somewhere. Something is going to be missing, because there are aspects of our life. There's your family life, there's your social life, there's your professional life, There is your spiritual life. Do you see? There is your physical life, your body. These are all aspects of your life. But if you focus and you're just money driven, trying to survive, put food on your table, send the children to school, and do what you think is necessary to live or to survive here on earth, then you will live a skewed, lopsided life. How many of us have how many of us this is actually the story of a lot of people. My father used to be rich. We used to have money when we were small. A lot of people are familiar. Why? Why they used to? Because you find that people start off their lives chasing after bread, chasing, just actively chasing and building this aspect of their lives, going to work very early in the morning, coming back late at night, taking all the trainings and education in just this aspect of their lives. And when they are maybe retrenched or something happens to that job, they collapse. Some people, it could be that they lost money. Some people, it could be that they were fired. It could be anything. You see that thing, that was the structure that held their entire existence together. And once it collapses, they collapse. They collapse. Everything goes under. So you might want to write this down. That the greatest gift you will give to the economy is your professional development. Professional development is one of the greatest gifts that you give to your economy. Personal development, on the other hand, is one of the greatest gifts you will give to yourself and to those that you love. Right? When you live a lopsided life, you will do disservice to yourself, to those that you love, and to your maker. Living a lopsided life, that is growing just one aspect of your life. Right? So I'm going to continue like this. We all know what we're made up of, the human component. We're tripartite beings. That's familiar. Man is spirit, man is soul, and man is body. Not so. Everybody agrees that? Do we agree that? We don't have to be Christian, Hindu, agnostic, atheist, Muslim. We all agree that we're human. We are, as humans, we are spirit, soul, and we are body. Fantastic. Now, what a lot of people do is that they grow one aspect of their components, right? So, for example, your professional development resides in your soulish realm, right? Your soul is the seat of your intellect, your emotions, and your will. That's your soul, the seat of your intellect, your emotions, and your will, right? So people take one aspect of their souls and then they just begin to grow that aspect and grow. That is the intellectual part, right? Some people begin to do that and do that and do that, but there's the emotional aspect that suffers. So we must gain knowledge. We must improve our learning overall in all three aspects of our lives. And the first aspect I'll be talking about today is the spiritual aspect. We must get revelational knowledge, spiritual knowledge. We must build a depth of information. And this is not going to church. Nope. This is not praying in tongues. Nope. This is not professing to be a born-again Christian. Nope. We have a lot of born-again Christians that are lost in the world. Lost, living suboptimally, living below their potentials, living like the Bible says. Oh, even the Bible says it, that even my children, look, they're walking on foot, but servants are there riding horses. So it's not just knowing God. That's not what causes you to succeed. It's not by being born again. You can be born again and enter inside your mother's womb and come out 3 times, and still it doesn't solve the problem. So what is revelational knowledge? It's a conversation that you have with your manufacturer, your maker. A conversation, and this conversation borders on number 1, self-awareness. Who am I? Why am I here? What is my purpose? Why was I designed like this? Why do I look like? Why do I like the things that I like? Why do I dislike the things that I like? My uniqueness. Why am I unique in this way? What is it for? What is my purpose? What is the reason for my existence? Is this conversation that you must build to grow your self awareness in order to know your place in the world. And if you ask, why do I need this level of awareness? It is so that you can live in your purpose, so that you can discover your purpose. Why do I need to discover my purpose? It's so that you can live a fulfilled life, so that you don't grow old and grumpy and distressed, so that you can live a wholesome life, so that you can partake. You can not just old, right now. Right now, you can begin the journey of living a fulfilled life. You can start the journey of living in your purpose, living fulfilled, waking up. It's your everyday moment, everyday life. That you sleep, you wake up, and you say, what? You choose the path that you have to take today. So that is the reason. You must seek this sort of knowledge. You must seek it. And guess what? If you ask, you will what? If you seek, you will what? If you knock, what will happen? It's just that you've been asking for the wrong things. You've been asking for what Jesus said don't ask for. He says don't ask for food, don't ask for clothing, don't ask for all this, but you just keep asking. You're asking the wrong questions. You're asking the wrong things. So to seek about who you are, why you are here, listen. There is a reason every single person is here: to fulfill a specific function. Isn't it amazing how after thousands and thousands of years and hundreds of centuries, still science has not been able to crack why you have a unique thumbprint that nobody has ever had before you or will ever have after you? Nobody. That's how unique you are. It's just a proof of your uniqueness. You are so unique, and it doesn't matter that you were born as triplets or quintuplets. You are unique. You are here on assignment. Why? Because the earth needs you. The world needs you. There is something about you, and it's not motivational speech. It's not enough to sing, I know who God says I am, what He says I am, but you really don't know it. Do you really know who you are? Do you really know who you are? So don't sit looking at me like I'm trying to motivate you. I'm not trying to motivate you. No. It's that your capacity innately, it's right on the inside of you. Right on the inside of you. There are potentials that are buried on the inside of you. Things that the world needs. How do you pull it out? You calibrate yourself through learning. Through learning, you align yourself with the life of your dreams. So the question is, if there was one thing you could change about your life today, what is it? Learn yourself out of it. Learn. You can't keep having money problems, relationship problems, parenting problems, and all you're doing is complaining about it. What has complaining ever fixed? Nothing. So you begin to gather information. You begin to seek the two types of learning. Number one, educational learning. Number two, experiential learning. So you now begin to gather materials and you take yourself through a school. You take yourself through a school and you subject yourself to learning. I am going to gather as much information as I can about procrastination. I am going to gather as much information as I can about finance. I'm going to gather as much info about spirituality. I'm going to gather, and you begin to gather information from up, down, left, and right. You gather diagonally, that everywhere you gather information from. And it shows. Listen, you want to write this down, that whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you pay attention to, you grow in that area. It grows. It grows. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it, where you're patient enough to water it. So you learn yourself to the life of your dreams. Learn your way up. Learn yourself to the life of your dreams. The distance between where you are and where you want to be is information, a wealth of it. And this is the beauty of God, that, He allowed the internet to become accessible to all of us, just so that we can plunge ourselves into learning. So the first one I wouldn't forget is spiritual knowledge. And the second one is a knowledge in the soulish realm. And like I said, the soul is a seat of your intellect and your what? Emotions and your what? And your will. Your will ties the two, right? Your intellect and your emotions. Now you will prosper as your soul prospers. It means that your prosperity in the world is tied to the degree to which your soul prospers. Yes. Your prosperity in the world is tied to the degree to which your soul prospers. It means the degree to which you're prospering intellectually and the degree to which you are prospering emotionally, right? And what causes you to prosper, to grow intellectual capacity or emotional capacity, is your will. You've got to be willing. You've got to will yourself into it, because your brain by itself is lazy. Your body by itself just wants to flenjo and jaye and faji, right? That's your body and that's your brain. Your brain is physical matter. It's just, because if you open your body, then you will see it's matter, it's solid structure, right? Your brain by itself is not going to do anything. Your will, you've got to will your brain. And it's not by listening to a 30-minute talk or a 20-minute talk. It's not even by paying for a 1-week retreat. Those can facilitate the process of your progress. But it has to be every single day you plunge yourself into learning, where you wake up and you realize that you are in a school called life. And that every single day I've got to grow experientially or educationally. That's your personal development. So you set a personal development plan for yourself. And you say, it's a growth plan. I must grow, because if I grow, every other thing will grow. Remember, your personal development is one of the greatest gifts that you can give to who? Yourself and those you love. So when you grow, everything around you must respond. That's the law of attraction. That's the law of attraction. Can I stay on it a little bit? You know how they say that your network is your net worth? Well, it doesn't start from there. Because you do not attract who you want. You attract who you are. Yeah. The reason we end up in certain relationships is because that's who we are. That's what we're familiar with. You attract who you are, not what you want. So if you want to change your outcomes, you've got to change who you are. So your self-worth then becomes what? Your network. Your self-worth is what attracts people to who you are. Becomes your network, forms your network. And then your net worth. Right? So it's about you. It's about you. Enough of playing sub-lead in the script of your own life. Some of us play sub-lead roles in the school of in our own lives, our own lives, where we're supposed to be playing lead role, lead actor, lead actress, and writing the script and calling the shots and being the celebrity in our lives. We are busy playing sub-lead. In our marriage, we're playing sub-lead. In school, we're playing sub-lead. At work, sub-lead. The day they take the rug from under our feet, we fall and everything crashes because we were not in control. So this level of learning is what makes you an asset in the world. Not an asset in Nigeria. An asset in the world, because learning is a universal principle. If you learn and learn, wherever you go, it shows. An asset is an asset anywhere in the world. So your soul, like I was saying, the seat of your intellect and your emotions, and you will prosper the way these two prospers, right? So you grow yourself in your professional, and then you grow your relationship with people, because guess what? Your wealth is tied to people. People are nature's priority. People are God's priority. In order to succeed, you must be in the business of people. Get to know people after you have gotten to know yourself. There is a reason why Jesus will answer when they say, so what are the commandments? He said, listen, hear, O Israel, too. The Lord your God is one. You shall love the Lord with all your heart, your soul, and strength. And the second is tied to it, is that you will love others as you love who? Yourself. So there is a self-love that you have to give to yourself that comes from self-awareness. What we talked about is a conversation with your maker. That's what makes you love yourself. Self-awareness is an entire spectrum. It begins with number one, self-awareness. Number two, self-acceptance, where you look and you accept everything that has happened in your past and is happening in your present. You don't sweep it under the rug. You accept it. You own it. Your mistakes, all the abuse, all the nonsense that has happened to you, it doesn't matter. The good, the bad, the ugly. It happened to me. It is happening for me. So you take it and you accept it. And after you accept it, you enter self-love. Self-love is not selfie on Instagram. Hashtag self-love. Self-acceptance leads you into self-love. Now you begin to honor yourself. Now someone looks at you and tells you something that is not familiar. You say, are you talking about me or you're talking about you? Well, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that person. Oh, yeah. Self-love, self-recognition, self-love. And it takes you to self-efficacy, personal leadership, where you begin to drive yourself. Because you love yourself, what do? You nurture yourself. You begin to grow yourself. You nurture yourself. When you love yourself, when you love something, what do? You take care of it, isn't it? So some of you don't take care of yourself because you don't love yourself. You don't love yourselves enough to take care of yourself. You wake up, you take care of yourself. You nurture yourself, and it shows in what you put in your body, in what you put on your body, in the words that you communicate, the words that you accept. It just shows. It shows all around. I love myself too much, right? And some people begin to filter out of your life. They call it what? Pride. Say she's proud. Nah, that's it. Pride is the name that is given to you by people who do not know who they are. And you have to recognize that. And so self-efficacy, self-leadership, you begin to lead yourself, you drive yourself, you plunge yourself into learning. And then there's self-worth, and then there's self-actualization. Please put your hands together for yourself. Right? So if you have this, then you're able to give. You love your neighbor as you love yourself. Do you see how everything is tied to every other thing? People are nature's priority. The more lives that you're able to touch, the more money you are allowed to make and to keep in the world. The more lives, the more lives. The people who are rich, listen, there's no such thing as luck. And let's say that, the principles of the world override themselves in such a way that luck happens to a person very rarely. The person still needs a wealth of information to sustain the dividend of that luck, to keep that luck going. So what are you doing? Are you waiting for luck to happen for you or to you? Or you're going to say, you know what? This person still needs to be sustained by learning. I will begin to learn my way up to the life of my dreams. So you're building intellectual capacity in your soul, and you are building what? Emotional capacity. Is your relationship with people. Some of you, your emotions are so messed up. But you've got to learn. You can learn emotional mastery. It's a theory, it's a thing. Emotional mastery, emotional intelligence, how to deal with people, how to relate with people. How you must be in the business of people. That person, I don't like them. You just cancel people. You've cancelled money out of your life. You've shut down a certain door. You've shut down a certain category of people. I don't like men. Men are scum. You shut them out of your life. You have no right to shut people out, to shut the door on people, to burn bridges. It's a level of arrogance. Now, that's the definition of arrogance. Not loving on yourself. That's the true definition of arrogance. And when you keep shutting people out, you shut a portion of your wealth out. People are social capital. People are financial capital. People are even your health capital. People are wealth capital. People. Do you see? And then the last area you need to get knowledge about is your body. Is your body. Your body is the vehicle that drives all this, your spirituality, your competence, your emotions. Your body houses everything. You must take care, you must nurture your body. If you're not fit enough, do you know that the quality of food you put in your body actually influences how you perform during the day? Whether you get into an hyperactive state or a low state, the quality of food you put in your body, how you treat your body, your fitness routine, your self care routine. And by that I mean how you physically take care of your body, how your skin should look, your hair, your grooming, how you nurture yourself. It ties into everything. So that there is your spirit, your soul, and your body. And then you begin to build a plan, a personal development plan, a growth plan, a growth plan. Okay? And say, yes, I'm going to grow this year in my career. I'm going to take these courses. I'm going to read X number of books. And I hear people say, I don't like reading books. And one was arguing with me, "Yeah, but I read a lot of articles online. I did da 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 da." I said, "Oh, my sister, do you? Do you? Why am I forcing you to read? You know, I'm saying that the Bible says that it's the glory of God to conceal a matter, and it's the honor of kings to search it out. So you see the insult when they say that if you want to hide something from an African, you should hide it in a book. It means that we don't search for treasures. We search for food. Poor men look for food. Poor men look for cash. Rich men look for knowledge. They look for information. Information. Depth of it or wealth of it. So that's what I'm challenging you to do today. Right? These are the techniques to enhance your personal development, your professional development, and your personal development. And your personal development is actually, your professional development is actually a part of your personal development. All right? So you read books. Did I tell you about experiential learning? Educational learning is different from experiential learning. Experiential learning is like the fastest way to grow. It's hands-on learning where you subject yourself to a mentoring process. Who has succeeded in the place where I want to be? So you look for your role models. So instead of just following actors and celebrities and random watching, scrolling through Instagram and Facebook and looking for what do you call? There are all these places that I've never followed. Gist blog, Gist lover, something something. There are plenty names. Something gist. All this instead of going through all those things that cannot add value to your life, you look for people that speak to you, your role models, speak to the place where you want to be, and you begin to follow them. You look for them around you. Find your coaches, find your mentors, find your teachers, find people, your circle of teachers that can teach you, that can show you by a hand holding system how to get to the place where you want to be. That's experiential learning. For some of you, you wait for life to teach you because there is one fake nugget that says experience is the best teacher. Experience is a wicked teacher. There are some people that experience will do, they can never recover from it. May experience not teach you what your teachers would have taught you. Learn from the experience of others. It's experiential learning. So learn from the experience of others. And you can learn through books. You can learn through podcasts. If you follow somebody long enough, read all the person's materials, consume all the person's. Do you know the wealth of information you have about that person? Especially in internet age. But then you're busy knowing who got married and who broke up with who stuff that adds no value. Some people are just consumers. this consumerism behavior. Just go and all you're doing is commenting on all this just because you can type.